Yeah, so today I will show you how to create a simple macro in Excel. So why do we create macro? We use macros to automate tax, for tax automation. So basically, macro is an action or set of action that can run as many times as you want. So for instance, if you have tax in Microsoft that you do repeatedly, let's say weekly, monthly, or annually, you can recall the macro to automate those tasks or process. So to start with, you can see I have 4 different reports for each of the months from January, February, March, and April, and they all have the same schema. If you look at this is customer ID, this is our product, and this is the quantity, this is the selling price, and this is the cost price. And we have that for all the tabs, the data set we have in this tab. So the first thing that we have to note to investigate is that the schema for the tab in the Fox tab must be the same in February, March, and April. So to start with, so we'll do all our transformation in the January tab. So before we get started, what we need to confirm is that we need to confirm if we have the developer tab in our Windows ribbon. If it is not, the best way to activate the developer tab is to go to the file, click on option, and if you go to customize ribbon, then you see the developer tab. If you uncheck, make sure the developer tab is checked and click OK. So to start with, I will click on the developer tab and I will click on record macro. So to record my macro, I have to give my macro name. And the macro have a specified naming convention that you need to adopt. So for instance, I want to make this to be my sales report. And this is gonna be monthly sales report for my description. So if I click OK, I know quite sure that it's not going to take this naming convention, but let's click OK and see what the error message that is going to pop up. Can you see it? So the syntax for this name isn't correct. Start with a letter or underscore. Doesn't include a space or character that isn't allowed. Doesn't conflict with an existing name in the workbook. So then we'll click OK. And I'm just going to add, let me say monthly. Let me say monthly report. And I added the underscore and I click OK. Can you see it works now? And immediately it saved that name. It accepted that name. You can see the record macro change to stop recording. That shows that we can now start recording our macro. So I will start my transformation now. So the first thing for me to do is that I'm going to change this cost ID to customer ID. Drag this. And I'm going to change this quantity to quantity. Quantity. As I'm changing all these names, the macro is recording all the steps I'm taking. So that is that. So I want to create a new column and I want to name it as discount status. So in my discount status, if I want to check for any quantity that is greater than 125, I want to give it a discount label. So to do that, I'm going to do equals, and I'm going to throw in my if statement. I'm going to do if the quantity is greater than 125, I want the customer to receive a discount. Discount. If not, the customer should pay full payment. So I'm going to click on the tick angle here, or probably you can drag it down. So I'm just going to click on this. You can see that for the first record in row 2, the quantity is 120, which is lesser than 125. So the customer have to pay in full for this. So another thing that we can do is that I want to know the total selling price. So I'm going to do total selling price. So that is going to be equals my quantity multiplied by my selling price. I click OK. I'm going to click on this tick angle at the edge. And I'm also going to create a new column for my total cost price. So I'm going to do total cost price. I'm going to do equals the quantity multiplied by the cost price. I'm going to do OK. I'm going to click on this tick angle to populate the column. So that is that. So also, I can also create to know the amount discounted that each of the customer is going to take. I can just create a new column and name it amount discounted. So to know the amount discounted, I'm going to do equals, and then I'm going to subtract the selling price minus the cost price. So how to do that is, so amount discounted is going to be, I'm going to subtract the cost price, the selling price minus, just for the sake of this class, we can use either way, just for us to track the difference between the selling price and the cost price. So let's do, if the cost price is this, so that's going to be cost price minus the selling price. So if I do OK, you can see the discounted amount is 0. Yeah. So if you look at the one that has the negative sign, the negative sign means that the customer received a total value of $3,640 when the customer bought a cake of 130 quantity. So this negative signs handles the discount that was given to each of the customer. So another thing that I want to do is that I want to change this discount to discount received. For instance, I just want to change the value for the discount to discount received. So I will select the F column, the discount status. I'm going to do Control F, and I'm going to click on replace, and I'm going to change the discount to discount received. So I'm going to click on replace all. So that works. So another thing I would like to do is that I would like to okay. So the discount, it changes column. So let's do Control Z. Let's do Control Z. So I'm just going to change. Let's change this because you can see we have discount status and discounted. So let's change this column to to payment status. So since I'm changing the discount, I'm just going to select the payment status column. Then I'm going to do Control F. So once I do Control F, I'm going to change the discount. I'm going to change the discount to discount receive. I'm going to click on this. So that works. So let me expand this. So discount received, full payment, discount received. So also I want to format the any row that contains a discount received. I want to give it a color yellow. So how do I do that? After selecting the F column, select on Home and click on Conditional Formatting. Click on the first cell that say Highlight Sales Rules with text that contains what? That contain discounted, okay, discount received, rather, discount received. And change that to yellow fill with dark yellow text. Can you see? It works. So once that is done, I'm going to go back to my developer 2. Now I have the column ID. The custom ID has been changed to customer ID. The product and the quantity has been changed. Let me try and give these probably just give it like a kind of let me bold it and let me change the font to, let me say, Time New Roman, and I can give it a font size of 12. So once that is done, let me click on my developer tab again, and I will stop recording. So once I stop recording, if I click on macro, okay, if I click on macro and I hit the edit button, if I hit the edit button, these are the codes that was generated at the back end. These are the code that recorded all the step taken to transform the data. So another thing is that we can add comment here. And for us to add comment, we can select, can you see this is customer ID and the stuff? These are the formulas that we added. I can come here and select, okay, let's say this is the monthly sales report. I can just sell customer costs ID was renamed, and I'll give it a full stop. If I click out of that, it's going to change to green. That means that's a comment. Also, here I let me use a comment. I use an if statement. If statement when quantity is greater than 125. I'll add the full stop to it again. And so also we can do all that in our code. Can add comment to it. You can see selecting the font size, changing the font size from 11 to 12. Can you see that? That is how to add a comment to our code, to our macro code. So the next thing for us to do is for us to save this. So we'll click on the file that will save as text macro. Then we'll click on No. To save a file with these features, click on No and then choose a macro enable file type in the file type list. Then we'll click No. So I'm just going to see where to save my text macro. And here in the Excel workbook, I'm going to select Excel macro enable workbook. Then I'm going to click save. So let me go back to my Excel workbook. And we did our transformation in the January tab. So let's go to the February tab. So once you get to your February tab, click on the macro and hit the run button. Can you see it works? So instead for you to come to do the same transformation you did in the January tab, maybe by the time the first time you received this report was in January. So instead of you repeating all the tasks all the process of transformation or data manipulation that you did in January, once you have the data set, you can add it to this tab, but the data sets have to be in the same schema with the January tab. So this is the January, this is the February. And when we have our February, let me show you the match. You can see we have only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. But in the February, based on the transformation that we did in January, you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So additional columns have been added. So let's go to the to match tab and see again. So in the match tab, you go to the macros again, then you click on the run button again. You can see the match also generated a report for us. It's a single click without doing any data transformation. So let's check if it works with the April again, April tab. So for April tab, we also go to the macro, click on macro, and hit the run button. So once you hit the run button, you can see it works and it calculated perfectly. So this is how to record a macro in Microsoft Excel, and this is how to create a simple macro. Thank you for watching. Please click on the subscribe button so that whenever I release a new video, you'll be able to be alerted. Thank you so much.